So I dropped med school, engineering school, to build my business. And I built multiple six-figure businesses, and I right now failed them all. And still trying to build my business again. If you want more info about me, you can check my other videos. But today I will share my lessons, what I learned with the business for the past 8 years. I know I already did that with detailed video, but this time it's gonna be a little bit concise and it's gonna be better. So I still read this every single day to remind these lessons because we forget as humans. So this is what I remind myself every single day as an 8-year entrepreneur. Lost everything multiple times, but I can still continue doing that with this mindset. So I'm gonna share those things with you. The first one, since the reward is too high in business, you should lower your risks so you can take that bet so many times that it is impossible to lose. It's not like you go to Vegas and you put everything on red and lose, then you cannot bet again. It's not the business. In a business, reward is too high, 10x, 100, 1000x. You spend like $1,000 on a course, learn a new skill, maybe on YouTube for free. You spend your time, and you gotta build 10,000 a month or 5K per month. Business is like reward is too high, and it is just starting out, and the business is so hard, especially in the beginning phase. You have to learn a lot of lessons. That's why it is so rewarding. That's why people are making $1 million in a day with the business. You can't see it with the job or easier path out there. It's gotta be the business because it's too hard and no one is doing it. That's why they're getting all the money. So second one, take risks as consistently as possible and live a lifestyle that allows that, so we can take that risk over and over again. So if you're making 2K per month with your online business or with your part-time job, you can spend all the time in your business and all the money. For example, right now, what I do is I eliminate all the things I pay for. Like, only thing I pay for is my business email, a few business course, and going to the gym, and food, and bills. Not bills at the moment, but I will get into that. Nothing more. I don't do anything else. Maybe once in a month I go out with the friends, but not in a fancy bar or something. We just sit in a cafe and we talk about our lives. This meaningful conversation. I don't have 1,000 friends. I have like 10 good friends, and we talk once in a while for 3 hours straight on what we should do in our lives to fulfill our purpose, things like that. So the thing is, if you lower your expenses to the point where you can take risks over and over again, so it's gonna be impossible for you to lose. Alex Hormozy has a great quote on the dice rolling thing, which is, in life you get handed with a dice, you don't know how many faces it's got. For example, maybe I got 2,000 faced dice, maybe you got 1,000 faced dice. We don't know that. And after that, in life you get to roll the dice as many times as you want, and at the dice there are reds and greens. Some people have one green, 5,000 reds. Some people have more greens, but in general we have a lot of reds and very few greens, and every green you roll, you get a win in life. So in the business you get to roll, but every time you roll you get red, because you have a lot of red, maybe one, as I said, one green and 1,000 reds. That's why every time you roll you get red all the time, and you wonder why I'm failing. But the rule of the game is only you lose if you stop rolling. And the second rule of the game is whenever you roll a red, that turns to the green, because you learned the lesson. So if you roll 10,000 times, if you got 10,000 faced dice, that means every single time you roll you will get green. So that's how you get multiple greens on a row, the win streak. That's why you see a lot of people are succeeding. For example, Elon Musk, Alex Hormozzi, every single business he gets or he invests, he gets it going. He makes a lot of money from it because he rolled the dice so many times. So it's so hard for him to get a red because in his dice, maybe he got 5 reds and 1,000 greens. Just vice versa of the beginner entrepreneur. That's why we have to lower the expenses and take the risks consistently as possible. As opposite of it, for example, if you get married, you got a kid, you got $5,000 of 5K per month of expenses, and you got 6K salary every single month, and you cannot quit your job. You give all your time to the job and rest to your family. So you cannot take risks. So if you want to succeed in this game of entrepreneurship, you have to lower your risks. So that means no kids, no girlfriend, maybe no wife, nothing, no expenses, and roll the dice. If you want to win, just telling you that's the people you're competing against with. Either sacrifice your business entrepreneurship goals if you want to play it big, or do not ever complain about why you fail, because these are the things our people are doing to succeed. Those people are sacrificing everything in their life to make this work. Some people are not sacrificing everything because they got a better dice. Maybe they got a billionaire dad. They're rich, spoiled kid. At 6 years old, started taking business classes from the dad. You can't know. Some people are born in war zones, right now in Palestine, or Dagestan, Chechnya, third world countries. The people can't even know how to speak English or don't have an access to the internet. Do you think those people have the same dice as you? No. So everyone has a different dice. Either you can blame the dice, which is doing nothing, you just feel better but nothing changes in your life, or you just gotta roll the dice, man. You just roll the dice. No matter what, when you're dead, no one will say, I got this from Hormozzi today. Or whenever you're dead, no friend of you will say, he was doing product market fit very good. No one will say that. It doesn't matter what you do. What we will get into that, but yeah. And third lesson, 20% of the money you help them to make, you can take. For example, if you help a business to make $10,000, you can charge them $2,000. Go niche down. Instead of being a generalist, you can be a specific brain surgeon. With that, you will enjoy your work more and you will make more money. Volume negates luck. Enjoy getting better at the game, because the person who loves the walk will walk further than the person who walks for the destination. Avoiding risk almost guarantees a lifetime of money stress. If you don't take a risk to build your business, or don't take a risk with the money, probably you won't even make a 6 figures and you will struggle with the money with your whole life. Do not forget that. I love working really hard on something that I know it's worth doing. I will tell you what I did in my life. I work really hard on the things I know it's worth doing. But I don't think it's worth doing. I cannot do it. I cannot work it for 2 hours. I cannot concentrate on it. I cannot focus. I cannot work. I was wondering why, but the reason is I know in my mind it's not worth doing. In the college, some people study too hard, some people can't. For example, I cannot study. Why? Because I don't think it's worth doing with my life. But that person is thinking, I will graduate from this med school, I will become a doctor. Maybe it's his dream, so it's worth doing the studying. But I don't want to be a doctor, so it's not worth doing it for me. That's the reason. There is nothing wrong with You, if you're this guy not scrolling reels all day long. Guys in the jail are as happy as billionaires because your brain evens the chemicals out, even it's a good or a bad situation. That's the harsh one, but the reality. Your brain just evens the chemicals after 2 days of rush. I learned this after buying my dream motorcycle. Then, after a month, I was feeling the same again. Then I learned that no matter what you buy, material success will not make you happy because it's just chemicals in your brain, and brain is not you, it's just a tool of you. That's another topic. With enough business skills, you can make any business work. It's just playing a guitar, running a business. Maybe your service is great, but you're selling to the wrong people. Check if that problem is solved before and copy it before starting. Focus on giving value. Just increase the value you give to the market. Do not focus on the money because money is byproduct of the value. Never worry about peer judgment. Do you want to start a tech business because of the status you will get among your peers? If you don't want to start a tech business, just don't. Accept that you are different. For the past 8 years, that's not to myself, you have been trying to improve yourself all the time. So here is what I did. 9 years ago, I discovered I could build a physique by working out. It was a huge discovery, don't get me wrong. There was no one in my environment, no one I know was working out. I didn't know you could get a good physique by working out. I wondered why nobody is doing that if it is that obvious. Having a great physique is awesome. Lighting is not good here, but bro, I can bench 170 kg. I discovered entrepreneurship path and I fell in love because of endless self-improvement in that industry. I didn't have, or my family don't have a beard like this. I did it by applying minoxidil. I did my research back in when I was 18 years old, 17. I did cold calls when I was 18 years old. In my dormitory room, bro. I'm not from US. I did it in Turkey. I learned speaking English when I was 17 years old and I was cold calling when I was 18 years old. I'm telling those because I have to remind myself who I am and what I did. I ran a cold email campaign when I was 18 years old. So it was like 8 years ago. Cold email campaign wasn't even a thing in the marketing agencies back then. I got 2 SMMA clients back when I was 18. In Shopify, I sold many products and failed that. I had a 6-figure Amazon FBA business. I had a successful Amazon dropshipping business. I did sales in my fitness coaching businesses. I ran it for 3 years. I signed 2 cybersecurity firms for my cold email business. I got 305 subscribers for my fitness channel. I got 82 subscribers in a month for my cybersecurity channel. I got my first bounty, which is like cybersecurity. I hacked one of the biggest companies in the world and I got rewarded for that. I got money from that. I have 4 years of cybersecurity working experience. I found more than 300 I hacked more than 300 websites. I learned how to play guitar at an intermediate level. That's what I did in the past 8 years to this list. I did boxing and won my first boxing match. I can bench 170 kg and 270 kg of deadlift that I can do. I spent $20,000 on how to make my online courses to get better. I watched countless, at least 10,000 hours of courses in business to get better. I get a sales job in US in a in what was it insurance company in the US as a foreigner. I got into the one of the best colleges in my country, which is I dropped out the med school and computer engineering school. So here is a wording from paragraph from Charlie Munger. Is I think it is telling what he is explaining me of who I am. So it is basically wasted potential. I don't know. Let me know if you feel like that as well. He feels he's worth more than where he is right now. He knows he can have more, but just doesn't know how to get it, which is extremely frustrating for him. All he wants is a vehicle to manifest the potential, that his talent is abundant, that he knows he has. He is terrified of wasting his life and his potential. He knows he could go down the standard road, the university, becoming something with standard career path, sales, doctor, engineer, etc. However, he thinks he's better than this and he can achieve more, and rejects the mediocrity, even at the pinnacle of the average person's perception of the career, which is becoming a lawyer or doctor or a pilot, that who I could become. So, yeah, that's the harsh reality of life. You can call it stupid, but everybody is different. That's the path of an entrepreneur. And that's what I do happily every single day. Not happily every single day, but sometimes I get frustrated as well after failing too much, but it's life. So, another lesson. Make no-brainer offers. Sell yourself cheap to get clients or testimonials and get better when starting out. Do not have time expectation of success. Do not say, I will make $10,000 a month in 3 months. Just tell, I will make 10K per month, but do not have time expectations, because if you put 3 months in that, and if you just make $5,000 a month after 3 months, you will feel like a failure, but you didn't, because you progressed a lot. So do not put time expectations of your success. Don't niche or model hope. Stick to your niche. There are exceptions for this, but I will get into that. No distractions. Just focus on one mentor you trust. Negotiate with yourself when you want to self-sabotage or do something bad. The more things you do, the more natural to you, less competition you'll have. To make $10,000 a month, get enough experience to get good and master your craft enough so you can make money with it. The goal is to reach a level of good, not the greatest, to make 10K per month. Even if you pick the wrong business model, you will earn a lot and change it, and you progress a lot faster. Like picking a wrong class in a game and playing 1,000 hours, you'll realize it's not a good class, and you will switch to another and better class, and you'll get better level in less than 100 hours. That's life. And with this video game example, you can understand, because you know how to play the game. You can understand which class is better. So with the new class, you go to best places to get levels, do best missions, and you get to the same level a lot faster. Also, because no one around you knows how to make money, they think it's a big mysterious thing because it's deeply tied to their ego. There must be a big spiritual journey you have to go through to make money. They think like this. They think making money is hard because no one knows how to make money in your environment. No one around you knows how to do that. Even in my case, everybody is workers. They think making money is a big mysterious thing. You have to be a drug dealer or do something bad, scam people to get the money, or it is you gotta go a big spiritual journey to make that amount of money. But it is just like playing the fucking basketball. You get good at the game and you'll make a lot of money with it. There is nothing different than this, and it is way easier to become than becoming an NBA player. Yeah. And lastly, at first, of course, you're gonna suck, but after doing too much action, it's gonna be unreasonable for you to suck. Then you get good. Then you get paid for it. That's why starting with skill-based, service-based business where you sell your time and skill is the best, because you can roll the dice as many times as you want, because you're not buying inventory, you're not spending your money. You can live with your money and spend your time, which is you have. You either broke or broke and have a lot of time, or rich with no time. So you cannot say I'm broke and I have no time. That's the reality. Sell your time, get good at, do too much action, so it's gonna be unreasonable for you to suck. Then you get good at that skill and you make money with this. And after that, in the business, again, you will increase your income to $10,000. Then you can get to spend $3,000 a month and invest this $7,000 on your business. You can take bigger risks, so you don't have to do the same business, or you can get better at the same business. So after some point, you'll get there, maybe make 100 grand a month, and after that, maybe you can get a better condo. Maybe you can spend $10,000 to the rent or buy a house, do something. Then that gap, 50 grand, 80 grand a month, you spend on the business. If you make 100 grand a month and you're spending 100 grand a month on the clubs, parties, girls, all that stuff, then you won't grow because you cannot take more risks. You're tied to your situation. So if you always live below your means, I think that was the word, right? You can always make progress and work on the thing that you like the most and you think it's worth doing. For example, I love working on cybersecurity, but it's not worth doing. I would love to become a doctor, but I don't think it's worth doing in my scenario, because I know I could do something better with my time. Bro, it was 23 minutes of rant. I'm talking, shutting the camera for 23 minutes, and it is 10 p.m. here. I worked all day. And I will still keep going because I just wake up a little late today. But never mind. This is what happens when you love what you're doing. Like 20 minutes passed and I don't even realize. And I don't know if anybody is watching this video at the moment. It's kind of boring video, but it's not boring to me because I went through all these lessons, and when I read any of these lessons, I get the emotion of the scar back. I feel that pain. Dude, like, I did a lot of things. And last year I was comparing myself with my peers, saying, I suck. I could be a doctor. Look, they became a doctor. Nobody appreciates what I did. They didn't even study it. In a third time of me working on my business, but they are getting all the glory, all the status from the people around them, from the everybody. But I was getting punished for what I did. Worked on this. I was punished because they thought I was lazy because I dropped out of college. But they just finished the college, did nothing else, and those are the things I did. Like doing cold calls, 18 years old, building multiple six-figure businesses, getting SMMA clients when I was 18 years old, just learned speaking English, all that stuff that I told you. That I realized it is stupid to compare yourself with other people, because I was making 10 grand a month when I was 18 years old, and I wasn't comparing myself to my peers, because that's the path they want to follow. I was just telling them I'm making 10 grand a month doing this. Why you're not doing that? I was just curious, trying to learn their mind, trying to understand their mind, but I couldn't. Till this date, I kind of understand what they're thinking. Back then, they were telling me if it's that easy that you're telling us, why no one is doing it? Bro, it's not fucking easy. I work my ass off. When I do something work, I at least spend like 1,000 hours on it. And you're telling me it's easy? Maybe it's my fault because I try to encourage them to start their own business or do the same thing because I rewarded such like this. And they thought it's easy. But turned out it's not easy. Look at everything I did and I'm still struggling. So yeah, that was enough talking. Right now I'm trying to start my, I think 9th, 10th, I can't even count it, business, which is freelance copywriting. We'll start off with that and we will evolve it to another business in the future. I know it is the foundation skill that you gotta have. Persuasion, like sales, marketing, it's a basic skill that you gotta have as a business owner. That's what I'm doing at the moment, and I think this week we will start doing some outreaches, and hopefully we'll get some sales calls and we'll get my first few clients in this month. If not, it's okay because all of my expenses paid for the 3 years. Thanks to God. And I can focus on this while finishing my easy computer engineering college, which I don't like. It is between me and you. I want to quit that as well. Yeah, that's it. See you later. Bye. Yeah, see ya.